Well, it's an exciting morning already, and we talked yesterday a little bit about social computing, and we introduced you a little bit to Chatter. Now, I know we have some people in the room who didn't get to see Chatter yesterday, so before we do the next part of the presentation, and I just want to say that what we're going to show you in the demos and in the next version of this is the next version of the platform. We are going to reveal and unveil the next version of Force.com. We're going to show you the next version of the Force.com platform and what's possible on it, what will let all of your systems and companies go to a new level of capability in building and deploying Force.com apps, as well as the fundamental usage of the Sales Cloud, the Service Cloud in your companies. But before we do, I just want to go back and do a very quick refresher on Chatter, and I'm going to do that through a video, and it's going to take about 2 or 3 minutes. So can we go ahead and see the Chatter video, please?
Salesforce Chatter is a new way to collaborate with people in your company in real time and in a private, completely secure environment. The problem with business collaboration today is that you have to go to one place to create and manage content, another place to use your business apps, and finally somewhere else for email and instant messenger just to collaborate with the people using all these different technologies. What if you could join all these separate activities in one place? Salesforce Chatter combines the latest collaboration trends in social computing with the robust sharing and security controls of enterprise cloud computing to deliver breakthrough levels of productivity and smarter decision making. Let's take a look. This is the Chatter application homepage. Right away, we can see how Chatter brings your business applications to life. At the top, you see your own picture and your latest status update. And when you click on your picture, you're brought to your own work profile. Here, you can upload your picture and write a quick blurb about your expertise. Now you and everyone in your company can easily learn about each other's talents and how you can help each other get things done. In the middle of the page is where you post your status, just like you would on your favorite social networking sites. This is where you let everyone know what you're working on. Whether you're at a conference looking for new business or asking anyone in your company for advice, Chatter keeps you connected to your colleagues by letting you follow their activities and provides a private social network for your company where you can share information securely and discover new insights. But Chatter lets you do a lot more than follow what your colleagues are doing. Here on the homepage is your main feed of real-time updates. You can see people responding to your status, but you can also keep track of everything that's happening in your applications, including all the data and the content you care about most. You can see real-time updates to your customer service cases being closed, your account data changing, and your sales deals advancing. And since Chatter is also a social platform, we can even bring in updates from non-Salesforce applications like your back-end finance or HR systems. Your feed puts all your content, apps, and people updates right in front of you, all in one place, all in real time. Plus, Chatter makes it easy to filter your feed to find the most relevant information. You can create any kind of filter you want. You can filter on just your team or filter by your top sales deals. Here, we can see that a new competitor has been identified on one of our top deals, this Allied Technologies opportunity. Right from the feed, we can drill into the deal and take a closer look. On the opportunity page, you can keep track of all your typical deal information, but your deal also has its own feed. Now you can collaborate on this deal in real time. When someone or some event updates this opportunity, like this stage change, it automatically shows up in your feed and in the feed of anyone else who's following this opportunity. Here, you can see someone has recommended you join this competitive group to get some more product insight. Here's the competitive group page. Chatter lets you form groups instantly to collaborate on anything, whether it's a sales competitor, an HR project, a product team, or whatever you need. One of the great things about Chatter is that you can also pull in information from other social networking sites like Twitter. Here you have a Twitter widget that's pulling in real-time tweets about this competitor. People in groups in Chatter can also collaborate on files like photos, documents, spreadsheets, or presentations. Here's a presentation someone in the group posted about our competition, which you can preview right from the feed. Plus, with Chatter, you can also access all your application content and data on your mobile device, like the iPhone or BlackBerry. No matter where you go, Chatter makes sure you've always got your real-time updates right at your fingertips. Chatter is a new way to collaborate with your content, apps, and people securely and in real time. It'll make you and your company more productive and give you real-time insights that lead to smarter decisions. To learn more, visit salesforce.com/chatter.
All right. Thank you very much, and thank you very much to Eric Stahl and the whole video team and the marketing team for putting together some of these great videos. Look, this is getting exciting. We're excited about Chatter. You know that. The room just went red, so we're excited. We really think this is going to be a fundamental change in how you work. We really think it's going to make you more productive, more successful, and fundamentally more aware. As I said yesterday, it just shocks me. I know more about the strangers, my friends on Facebook, than my own employees. And I think that by using these metaphors and these ideas and by connecting these apps, content, and people, we're going to have much smarter companies. And we're going to make it seamless in your sales and service cloud, and you're going to have an experience with the product and the technology that makes it all possible. And you're going to have it very, very shortly in 2010. Now, as we've said a number of times, and really the seminal point of Chatter, and for those of you who've been able to visit the Chatter workstation, get your hands on it already, seen the demo yesterday, you just saw the video, the fundamental premise is we're really about connecting your content, your files, your presentations, your videos, whatever the content is associated with your company, giving you a whole content management experience, your apps, so all the apps that we provide or the apps that you've built, or even your other apps inside your company that we can connect into through our APIs, and all your employees to provide this tremendous network. And it's not going to be just great for your sales team, which I'm sure it's going to light your sales teams on fire. It's not going to be just great for your service team. We really believe this is an enterprise app, an enterprise-wide app, and we're going to do everything necessary to write the agreements with your companies so that you can make this enterprise-wide. And we are deeply committed to that. Chatter makes all of your apps social instantly. If you're a native app developer, your standard objects automatically get those feeds. No work is required. The technology we saw, the new apps that we saw today from companies like BMC and CA, when they get released, well, they'll be social. When there's a service desk issue, it will appear in your main feed if you're the service desk manager. If there's an issue with your agile development, it'll appear in your feed if you're the development manager. If you're Jim Shepard, the CEO of Vitrazo, and you're shipping a panel out, it's going to appear in your feed that you shipped the panel out when it went out, or that you're out of stock, or that you need to refresh, or right away you need to pay attention to inventory, or that you better go get access to another big beer party because you need new bottles. It's going to appear right in your feed. In fact, all 135,000 Force.com apps that you've built, that Jim Shepard has built, that John Swainson has built, that Bob Beecham has built, and all the other great native ISVs like Financial Force and so forth and so on are all social. And it really starts with this core concept of enabling the profiles, giving you profiles right inside the Salesforce system. But now when we're talking about this, and you think of it as an end user feature or as an end user function, there's something subtle you need to know. This is all accessible through the API as well. You can go directly to this programmatically, not just through the end user interface. That's going to give you, as an application development and deployment expert, the ability to build very sophisticated new kinds of apps. Because when we talk about profiles, when we talk about status updates, the ability for people to talk, when we talk about feeds, the collection of these things happening, the status updates and the access happening from the different apps, when we talk about groups coming together for the competitive situations or to work on a product or to work on a project, when we talk about the social apps, the feeds appearing on the apps, when we talk about social content, that is, all the content has feeds as well, that your content is talking to you, that your apps are talking to you, that everything is coming together, and that you're creating this new level of awareness, and all wrapped in our security model. Well, there's something that you need to fundamentally know, that just is not an end user app, which is how a lot of people probably thought about it after they saw it for the first time yesterday. It's not just a killer app, and it is a killer app, but it is a killer platform too. And by making all of those services available through the API, through the Chatter API, you're going to be able to build all of these things into all of your apps. And that includes total integration with Facebook, so that you can connect your custom apps to Twitter. You can bring in, and you can do things like you can bring in tweets based on specific criteria. You can securely broadcast out to Twitter. With our new Google Toolkit, you can securely connect your custom apps to Google Apps. Real-time integration between Chatter and all your Google apps. And with the Chatter platform, all of your apps are going to join the conversation. Not just our apps, but all the social networks and all of Google. And you will choose, and through the social model, and through our sharing model, and through our privacy model, you will keep it secure. And you will keep what's private, private. You will keep what is your company information private. But you'll be able to take this public information for greater insights and awareness, like you saw yesterday, with these tremendous feeds delivering directly into the app. This is a breakthrough. We've really never seen anything like this in our industry. And now, to give you a vision of what this could do when you take the Chatter capabilities and bring it into the platform, so that we have Custom Cloud 2 to deliver a social platform for the enterprise, something that no one else is even working on. I've invited our very good friend, Narinder Singh, the founder of Aperio. Narinder, please come up on stage. Where are you? Here he comes. Narinder Singh, welcome.
How you doing, Mark?
Good. Narinder, grab your workstation, because we're going to get going and we're going to show you what does it look like. What does it look like when you take the Sales Cloud? What does it look like when you take the Service Cloud? What does it look like when you take the Custom Cloud and Chatter and all these great services like Facebook, like Twitter, like Google, and bring them into a next generation application? What we want to do now is inspire you, to excite you, but we want to open a door that we can all walk through to show you a vision of what's possible for the next generation of our application. So what I did a few weeks ago is I brought Narinder in for a preview of Chatter. And I said, Narinder, I want you to take your professional services application that you've been working on, your PSA app, where you can manage professional services and the very aspect of a professional services organization, and I want you to make it social. And in a few days he did, and I want you to see yourself the difference of what a social platform and a social app can do. Narinder, show us what's possible.
Thanks a lot, Mark. Mark, as you know, Aperio as a company delivers products and services to some of the Salesforce and Google's largest customers. Companies like Japan Post, Thomson Reuters, Starbucks, and of course Avon. Now, but what was fundamentally important to our business is how we can work together as a company. Professional services is all about people. And the better your people can work together, the more successful you can be with customers like that. So let's go ahead and bring up the demo. Great. So we're looking at me logged in to our professional services enterprise application. What's great about this is you're seeing...
I'm sorry for the delay, Narinder. It was some in-flight refueling there.
Well, it's with the customer Starbucks of both of ours, so I'm all for that.
I'm on my way over.
All right, come on over.
All
Mark.
right, now tell me, what is this application?
So, Mark, this
is your professional services app.
This is our professional services application.
But now this isn't the user interface that I use the professional services app with today.
It is not.
This is the new UI.
This is the new UI that we've been able to put into the app without doing anything. It just turns on for us. So that is a huge element of why we picked building on Force.com as a platform. All these features show up for my customers without us doing any work. So we're able to inherit from the power of what Salesforce provides. And there's this book I was reading about the cloud, and it had some good advice. It had a play or two. You might have heard of it. Oh, wait, I think you might have wrote it. But it talked about building and harnessing the power of others. And we've done that with your platform.
Now, you know, what I see here is there's some tabs on here we did not demo yesterday, Narinder. Projects, time cards, planners, skill capacity, billing. I mean, what are those?
So these are fundamental to what a professional services organization needs. Projects. Of course, we deliver on projects for large customers. Time cards. We need to know when people are billing for work so we can collect revenue. We need to plan their schedules, understand our portfolio of activity, understand our skills, and even bill our customers. These are the core parts of the business process for a professional services organization. But there's something new.
Now, scroll down. I want to see what else is on your homepage. Do you have anything there?
This is my core stuff.
All right.
Simple.
So now what can I do? I have utilization by group, revenue by region. These are obviously active dashboards like I have on Salesforce today. But how are you using Chatter in this?
Yep. So first of all, I'll walk through a couple things here. You're right. So for us, utilization, how often our people are on projects is important, revenue, and recruiting. Talent and people is central to our organization's ability to succeed. Chatter, with a single click, I'm opening up Chatter. And what you see here is we can see Chatter on a number of different things. So you can see Chris Barman, the CEO of Aperio. That's a person is contributing to a conversation about Japan Post, our largest customer, who is a fantastic showcase for us in the industry. We have a people conversation going on. I'm following that conversation because I care about Japan Post. But you can see more than that. You see our financial system is chattering. And this is a financial system that embarrassing.
So this is your app now is talking to you.
This is actually
and what did it say to you?
It said that
and why did it say it, Narinder?
Importantly.
And what did it mean when it said it?
We're going to turn this into a spiritual conversation. So this.
I'm ready to go there.
You are. So the second chatter that you see, this financial system invoiced for $18,000, this is using the Chatter API. This is actually not on Salesforce.com, but it's using the Chatter API the platform provides so it can participate in a conversation. At places you used to work at.
You need to upgrade to financialforce.com. We need to talk about that.
I got to find Jeremy.
I got to get Jeremy out here ASAP.
I would love to talk to Jeremy. But it's more than even that. What happens, the difference between putting it outside and bringing it inside is this third part. You see this hammer. That's the symbol in our application for a project. This project has said, for apps rationalization, the date has changed to the end of December. And you see that spawns a whole conversation. The senior architect is saying we were able to cut 3 weeks from the timeline. The client's happy. And then you see Ryan Nichols, doubling as an Avon rep, is now also part of our core PR strategy and says we can do something earlier. This is information he never would have had before. So we see that Chatter has changed the dynamic of the conversations that we're able to have. And the thing is, Chatter is important as a platform. So yesterday, you showed profiles, but let me give you an idea of what profiles mean for a professional services business. So for a professional services business, of course, we care about the same profile and contact information that you have. But notice what I have on this screen is the top 5 skills that are relevant to me.
So now this is a key and seminal point of the demo, and I'm sure all of you are getting this, but this is really, I just want to stop here and just talk about this. Because Force.com is what all of our apps are built on, and because Chatter is built on Force.com, Narinder needs to build skills capabilities into his profiles. It's critical for him, running a professional services organization, that he knows for each of his employees, are they good at IT strategy? Are they good at marketing strategy? Are they good at sales strategy, support strategy, apps? Now that might be different if you're Parker in development. That might be different if you're Frank in sales. That might be different if you're Kendall in marketing, but that kind of skills capability, well, that might be something, kind of an HR information that you want to keep track of. That's something that we don't know about, but you can add it. You can create and enhance the profiles because all it is Force.com.
I thought you were going to comment on my expert ratings, Mark. So the other thing that you can see is that I'm the executive sponsor of Japan Post. As I mentioned, Japan Post is our most important customer. So what that means is that it shows everybody in the organization that I'm the executive that they need to go to related to Japan Post. But they don't have to just keep pinging me with emails to keep me in the loop. We've created a collaboration group about Japan Post. And again, a little different than what you saw yesterday. Yes, it's a group. Yes, it has the capabilities of the application.
So this is like an account management group. It's not just a competitive analysis group.
That's correct. And if you look, you see that this group is following projects. So it's not just a matter of following a conversation or a person. It's actually watching all the projects we have going with Japan Post, apps rationalization, cloud strategy, and so on and so forth, because we want the entire company to be aligned around their success.
So you've linked your projects with this key profile, which is the account management group, basically, back to you, your individual profile as the account leader.
That's right. So, and anyone who thinks this information is important can follow it. That's a really important point, that you don't miss important information.
Now, what if something's happening out on Twitter or Facebook about Japan Post, or a newswire or a stock quote, or something happens in Japan Post? Can I connect on that too?
I can. You can see we've got, a Twitter group that's automatically embedded in pulling up real-time information about what's happening at Japan Post whenever we need it. So what's great about this is I want you to think about how in any large company where there's a lot of different activity going on, it's always a struggle. How do I keep everybody in the loop? So, for example, I'm the executive sponsor for Japan Post. We do periodic strategic reviews with them. And when we do, I want to know the status, the time, the billings, every detail about every customer. So I'm going to tell everybody, I've got a strategic review. Get your time in today. Especially for that apps rationalization project. That's a really important one. We're taking 22 applications and moving them onto the Force.com platform. So I'm going to share that note with everybody.
So you've given a status update now, and you said, Narinder Singh says you better get your time card in today, especially if you're working on apps rationalization.
That's
now,
right.
Why is that a hyperlink?
And look at this. Ryan Nichols, that guy's busy today, is already talking about it. He's done with Mark, and he's ready to get that done.
Now, so why is apps rationalization a hyperlink?
So apps rationalization is one of the projects, and you saw that very common in Web 2.0 technologies, the @ symbol, the pound symbol, those will automatically link to information in my system. I'm actually going to drill into this project, and I want to show you the project view of the same chatter. So this is a project screen, and it looks like a project screen. It has a lot of the same core information, but for us, the project manager is important. What's the status? There's a bunch of financial information on bookings.
Like assigned hours and scheduled time and all of those things associated with project management that you wouldn't have in your opportunity screen.
And very important. So for us, assigned time is how much time we allocated, and scheduled is what the current project plan is on.
This is a custom app, and this is a custom tab, and this is a custom object, so automatically you can turn chatter on. You can have a feed associated with it.
Exactly. So when I open up the chatter bar, notice this, that we see the same information, but now it's scoped not to all of Japan Post, but to this project. So you can see the same chatter that we actually went through appearing here. So this has created a pretty strong and compelling way for us to...
You have a tremendous mesh of information going on, connecting you throughout your whole company, that all your information is being shared at a much higher level. There's more fidelity. There's a lot less likely that you're going to miss something.
Absolutely. And actually, this scenario is something that I'll show the next part of. This is something that sometimes can take weeks for people to work out, that because of chatter, it's an immediate conversation.
What's your biggest surprise in working in this new capability of chatter?
So of course...
You're a Force.com expert. You've been working on it for what, a few years now,
We've
right?
been fans of Force.com for a long time, and when we built this application, we had great success with it. We're competing with, SAP and Oracle and that other Oracle company.
In professional services administration.
That's right. And what we did is we had great success. Some of our early customers, Nav Canada, Convio, the Force.com story made sense. 100-person organizations, 5,000 users, we were able to build. And one of the reasons we told people that we built on Force.com is being on a platform.
But now professional services is a lot about communication and sharing and collaboration. It's a lot of project management, right?
That's right.
I mean, it's the very business that you're in at your core.
Exactly.
That's how you came up with the app, right?
Yeah, and people would ask us, they'd be like, how do I collaborate? And, my developers are busy, and we had a lot of core features to go after. So when you called me a few weeks ago...
Well, I remember the old wiki that you guys used to have, right?
And so we would go through, and we've done a great job of using the cloud to collaborate internally, but our customers were still struggling. And so this has suddenly added a feature footprint that would have taken us years to develop, turns on like that. So I want to actually show you some even cooler stuff.
Great, I'd love to see it.
So let's bring up the second screen. Just notice that me as Narinder, I've actually asked everybody to enter their time. So if we bring up the second screen, you see I'm now Jason Ouellette. So Jason Ouellette's one of our senior architects, and you see his chatter has the same conversation that we just went through.
Sure.
And he's going to go through and do exactly what I said, which is go enter a time card. Right? And so
now, time cards is a custom object that you've built.
Yes, and this is a visual force page, chatter is enabled, but in this case what I want to do is, Wednesday actually was a super long night for me, I don't know about everybody else, but it was a 16-hour day for Jason because I kept calling him in the middle of the night. So he's going to go submit his time card, like I said, right? I want to talk about what's happening now. When he submits his time card, yes, it's updating Salesforce. It's doing all of that. But Chatter is also going through and figuring out who cares about this information and it's looking at that as well. So all of a sudden, we've got information on the other screen showing up. So if you saw the other screen, we just saw that the time card was submitted by Jason.
The time card's been submitted, so it shows up in that feed, and everyone associated with it, as well as the objects, all get that capability.
And you saw this dynamically appear up. I didn't go refresh anything. It's real time.
Right.
So on this.
Can I just stop for a second?
Yes.
I think we are going through something new. If you're following this, if you are where we are and you kind of understand where we are, could you just raise your hand and say, I understand what's going on? Wow, okay, that's pretty good. I just want to tell you, for me, it took me a while to really get the sophistication, so that's fantastic. So you're doing a great job. And this is why we asked Narinder to build this, because we thought we really needed a use case to explain this.
So Mark, on the screen that I was on at the beginning, you saw dynamically appear. Remember, that's Narinder. I'm over here as Jason. On that screen, you see that the time card was submitted by Jason Ouellette on the project Apps Rationalization for 62 hours. But you also see a really important message. The project changed the status yellow. Something happened. And you see Ryan Nichols saying, why is it yellow? I thought we were ahead. Now, Jason, as the senior architect, he knows, you know what, the reason I worked 62 hours, but I got this week and next week's work done. So I'm going to drill into the project plan. And you had Dave Gerard, one of our other great partners, up here earlier. And we are huge fans of Google. We use Google everywhere. And this is a project plan that we've created in Google that our team can collaborate on inside our company and with our clients. And the information that just came here, that 62 hours, came from Salesforce. So we went through and were able to go pull that information in from Salesforce dynamically. And what I'm going to do is change this to 40, because I worked 40 there and 22 here. We're actually ahead and on schedule. It's actually green.
Fantastic.
But watch this. Did you see what just happened on my original screen? The project plan document chattered. It chattered and said, Jason Ouellette updated it for the project apps rationalization. We're now down to 452 hours, and the project changed to status green.
That's incredible, incredible. Narinder, that is incredible. That's quite a fusion you got going on there.
Let's not use that word, Mark.
I better change that. I need a different word.
Definitely.
Okay. So Narinder, where are we going with all this?
So Mark, one of the things we're most excited about is, again, I mentioned that our company serves the biggest customers in the world on custom app dev. As you mentioned before, every one of those customers, I expect to have a very long set of conversations after this on saying, where do we start? Because the beauty is you've made this available to every customer at once. And I think that's a very fundamental difference between the old world and the new, is that because you've developed this, the time for you to develop it is one part of the equation. The time for it to become part of the customers is what never happened before. They have to upgrade. It's just there. Great. And so it's made it great for custom apps. In our ISV application, we're even more competitive in the market now.
Narinder Singh, great job.
Thank you,
Aperio here at the show.
Thanks, Steve.